If you were moving a lot and if you really liked your house, if you're that type of person that had to have the same thing everywhere you go. Yes. The container, it would be very worth it. It shows up in a day and you set it down and it's done. This is actually the original floor off the container. This stuff is impregnated with like rat poison and a lot of pesticides. And I have a heated floor, so I replaced the floor and then I used it for the siding just because it's not inside. It doesn't off-gas really all that much, but it's really stable, but I didn't want it in my house. So inside, it's not completely finished. The bed area isn't done, but there's gonna be like a platform against the window and then another platform on the other side of the bed with a bunch of shelves. These are just IKEA cabinets with our like personal door fronts on it. This is my like kitchenette, just a induction hot plate. Just like a little bar fridge.
You kept it really simple.
Yeah, I own a restaurant, so like I don't eat here a lot. Mainly I just have vodka and crackers. You could make that more deluxe, and then just another little closet. This is like where all our gear goes. This is my avalanche pack. This is the sports section. This is where I put the cornflakes. This is my clothes, all the clothes. And then, well, I'm not with my partner anywhere, but we have 2 people living in here. And we didn't break up because of the container. We moved out of a house that was like a farmhouse that we remodeled that was 2,500 square feet. Our son went to college and we just didn't want to do that anymore. Just wanted to like not own things. Just wanted to downsize, just wanted to simplify my life. We lived in this little wall tent while we built it. This is John's house right now.
Oh yeah?
Search and rescue call out this morning, so I was kind of going through all my stuff to pack an overnight bag, and so yeah, it'll be a little bit of a mess, but...
Everything's hooked up. It's a normal operating space. There's like a septic tank and a drain field that we put in. There's power that comes off of our panel. So you still got the view of the mountain as you wake up in the morning.
How long did you live here?
Just for like 2 months right before the snow fell. We were kind of racing. We originally built the container. So when I built the container, I didn't have the foundation, so I set it right here. They just deliver it like on a truck, like comes out, costs like $1,000 delivery. You can pick it up with most cranes. We're slow, a little bit more. And then when I set my septic tank, I use that crane to move it onto the foundation. So the foundation is just 2 8-foot walls with the footing, and then 2 bolts on each corner that hold I made this. They make a lock that you can buy from a container company. That has to be centered dead on. And it's more of like if you were gonna be attaching stuff and unattaching stuff frequently, like if you had a ship. And I didn't really wanna spend $180 4 times. So I had this washer cut. So this washer allows that if that bolt isn't exactly where you want it, it can move this way. And then this whole washer can slide in that thing left and right. So you have like an area about that big that you can have an air on.
That's the entire...
There's 4 of those. Yeah,
those 4.
There's 4, and that's all you need. The container is, so even though there's a foundation wall, it only sits on these blocks.
Is that your idea?
Yeah.
So you...
I got a degree in math, and so it's pretty easy to figure that shit out. And so the deck is kind of cool. The deck is only supported on the container, so like it just slides into the forklift pockets. So you could have the deck inside the container, deliver it, and walk it out that door, and then slide it right in. I can pull the whole thing out right now. Has a little bit of a bounce to it. And then this is one of my cooking surfaces. It's just a boat barbecue. I have hot and cold water on the outside off a on-demand hot water heater. And this is a bathtub that I just got at the dump, and it just drains on the ground. It has a big crack in the bottom of it, which is why I was at the dump. It works really good in the wintertime. It's like being in a hot spring. Everybody's like, how do you take a bath in the winter? I'm like, haven't you ever been in a hot tub in the winter?
And why a container and not just a tiny shack or cabin or, you know?
I just wanted to try it, and it's super easy to deliver them. I haven't cut anything in the container, so I can still put it on a ship. If you took everything out and opened the doors, it's just like a wall. It's made mainly for used in train shipping. So when you're shipping stuff in a train and you want to unload out the side, you want to be able to get your forklifts in the side, they use these things for that. So like I didn't have to learn to weld, and it's still structurally sound. You can see right now I'm standing in the doorway of the bathroom looking out. If you start cutting walls into the normal containers, then the wall is a structural component. So then you can't put them on a ship, and you can't necessarily... Here I could take it to an engineer and say that it's designed for the load, and I don't have to worry about the span. You can drive a forklift in here. It's super like you don't get any sort of... What you're looking at here in terms of insulation is what is going to be going on the ceiling. Because a lot of people, they'll build like a 2x4 wall inside a container. And why would you build a wall? If you had like 2x4s, first of all, they're a thermal break. A lot of people use fiberglass insulation. This is a foil face foam insulation, which is the highest R value you can get. And then here is our first lid panel. So let me give you a rundown on how it's built. You can imagine like a metal box.
Yeah.
And on the roof of the container has a big metal beam here and here that supports the structure of the roof. And all I did was I attached a wooden beam to that metal beam and then pushed foam up between those beams. And then the last layer of foam has this piece of C-channel that's pounded into the foam, but it doesn't actually attach to the wooden beam that's along the side. And then you just take your plywood and push it up and screw it off to the C-channel and the edge. The C-channel makes it rigid, so it doesn't have to be supported in the middle. And then do the same thing, after you get the ceiling in, you do the same thing on the walls. And it's insulated to a standard R40 ceiling, R22 wall, R30 floor.
Yeah, it's cool in here and it's
Yeah.
super hot outside.
Yeah, it's. I don't have an air conditioner. I might in the future put a mini split in. Usually the smallest one you can get is designed for like 1,000 square feet, which is like 10 times what I need.
Because how big is this?
It's 160 square feet. It's 8 by 20. It heats with 1,500 watts that runs probably a third of the time. And the windows are just cheap vinyl windows. Turned out the walls are the exact thickness of a vinyl window. And I was trying to go for like a zero, like you can see up here, I was trying to go for like a zero trim reveal. That's a lot of work. And I'm not the best finish carpenter. The electrical panel is in that. And I have like on the ceiling, let's see if I can hook it up.
Power on.
So like I have like Bluetooth like speakers in the ceiling and like can lights in the ceiling, which next time I'll use track lights because the cans go into the insulation. And right now the bathroom isn't done, but I'll show it to you. This will be like a slider door. This will be a shower, like the shower control, and this is the shower head.
Okay.
And then everything will be tiled. A fully tiled wet bath. And then a wall-mounted toilet. It works, like it's just totally, I don't know if you want to see that.
Yeah.
But. And then this is my on-demand hot water system, and then this is a pump and an expansion tank that runs the heat on the floor. I could take this out and just use an electrical floor heat, but right now it's heated with a simple like radiant electric oil space heater. 1,500 watts will keep this warm in 20 below.
And you really you just opened up that whole back.
Yeah, so like at night like you can sit like when you're right against the window, you're pretty much looking right up. At night in the wintertime, it gets really bright because there's snow on the ground and the moon comes up and it wakes you up. So you just have we didn't have these actually. This winter when it got really bright, we didn't have these, so we had to close up the container on this wall.
Oh wow, that's possible still.
Yeah, so you want it? Let's do that real quick.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we need to get the furniture off the decks.
Okay.
And then there's going to be a little bit of climbing around. And what's strange is like, this is directly off the highway and you can't see it. Okay, from this corner, I can fully see the road. Thing has no visual impact.
Wow.
Right? It's so small and it doesn't have a roof. Like if this had a normal roof, you'd be able to see it from the highway. But I actually set it to height. I used a ladder to figure out like how to make it not visible. Okay, one more. This will show you the reality, but.
Because you wanted to be able to close this.
It allows you to ship it, which is really cool. And 100% hurricane, tornado, and earthquake resistant. I mean, it's designed to sit on a ship going across the sea and 80 miles an hour of wind, like rocking and pitching around.
So do you see containers as being useful as sort of an extreme home?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have hurricanes here though. We have fires. It's pretty fire resistant. In a fire, the rubber might melt, and if it got hot enough, it would spontaneously combust inside. So it probably wouldn't weather a fire if you were like in a really thick forest, but a grassland fire, it just roll right across it. If you live someplace that had tornadoes all the time or hurricanes frequently, it would definitely weather a hurricane. The roof load on the container is a 300-pound snow load. And here where we get a lot of snow loads, the most you ever have to build for is 120 pounds. So it's like you could put it on a snow load in like Alaska and it would be fine. It's pretty satisfying as a builder to build with it because it's super strong. A lot of times in building, you're having to figure out how to make things stronger. And in this situation, everything's stronger than it ever needs to be. I will. Yeah, you have to turn the kettle around. The only penetrations in the whole thing are through the wooden floor. Just the power and the sewer and all that stuff comes through there. So it's like a legal container. Like, kind of cool thing about these doors too is they all pivot off of the same point. So you can actually build a platform here and it can rotate around. What I've sort of turned into an outdoor shower. I just pulling the doors together and wedging a piece of form board in there. If you look, this whole platform turns. When I was building it, I was using that as my shower. It's just a piece of plywood, and then at the top you have like a cam strap that just holds it all together. From that position right there, it doesn't interfere with the view out of any of the windows. Ready? 1, 2. 1, 2. Oh, pull that one.
Because you might want to ship it. The idea is you might want to...
It's for sale. If anyone wants to buy it, I'll sell it to them.
Even if it's in the Patagonia or...
I think it costs like $1,000 to ship across the sea.
$1,000.
Maybe more. I know it costs like $1,000 to ship anywhere in the country pretty much.
Is the idea also, besides selling to someone else, that you could move your home and, you know, if you move your home with you?
For me, I would just build another one.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I can build it in 3 weeks, and I could build a 40-footer in 4 weeks. I love living like this. I think it's the way to live. I went traveling with a friend of mine, and he was like, oh, I'm going to buy this and that. And I was like, I'm not going to buy anything. I'm just going to enjoy traveling. Like, I don't need anything. And like, having just what you need, like living with just what you need, is very, very satisfying. It's just a bedroom and a bathroom in a beautiful place to live outside.